First of all, I think it's important to note that there are two things at work here. You have generative AI and agentic AI, and they're related, but let's separate them. So, generative AI creates content, agentic AI executes tasks. Now, generative AI poses a unique set of challenges: non-determinism, hallucination, the black box problem. We can dive into each of those. And then you have agents. Agents can perceive the world around them, they can act on the world around them, and they learn from the world around them. And the agents are often a combination of large language models, machine learning models, rule based systems, and they can act autonomously to do things like call tools or interact with external systems or trigger certain workflows.
Hmm.
Now, let's dive deep a little bit deeper into those risks of generative AI that we were talking about. So we've spent some time talking about non-determinism, which basically means, again, like, you give the model or the robot the same inputs, and some percentage of the time you get different outputs. That's obviously a problem if you're a financial institution, right? Like if you claim to approve everybody above a credit score of 700, then every 700 should be approved. It can't be that 20% of the time you're denying folks who meet the eligibility criteria, right? So non-determinism poses a unique challenge to banks and financial institutions. The second challenge you have is hallucination, which is like sometimes these models are just eager to please and they give you confident but incorrect responses.
Hmm.
And then, of course, generative AI is uniquely challenging from an explainability perspective. These deep neural networks are so computationally complex that it is virtually impossible to understand why a conclusion was reached or why a decision was made. Now, on top of all of that, if you add agents into the mix, the risks expand significantly, right? Because now you've got the risk of runaway behavior, right? Agents taking actions beyond their intended scope. You've got the risk of misaligned objectives, like optimizing for the wrong goal objectives. You've also got the problem of data leakage, right? Like leaking sensitive or regulated information. And then we're also starting to see kind of like adversarial attacks on these agents, right? The manipulation of the agent via malicious prompts or inputs. Uh, and all of that is just talking about one agent. Now imagine you had multi agent systems or swarms of agents. Well, the risks there are also compounded, right? Because at a very simple level, you can have coordination failures between these agents, right? The agents like working at cross purposes or perhaps taking duplicative or conflicting actions. You can also get, the problem of cascading errors, right? So you have a small mistake made by one agent, propagates and compounds in downstream systems. And I think there's one more critical point is that almost all of these systems are built on top of foundation models that the agent developers and users don't control, right? And so the core challenge that banks face with generative and agentic AI is like, how do you maintain control of a system that is inherently non deterministic and largely outside your visibility?